Okay, everybody, welcome in. We're going to talk a little bit today about my thoughts with regards to college football playoff committee. As we know, the first rankings for the 2021 season came out, and there's a lot of controversy, and I just wanted to give my thoughts about them, especially being a former coach and things like that. So, first and foremost, I got to get this out of the way. I am a Ducks fan. I am an Oregon Ducks fan. I root for the Ducks, guys. When I'm rooting in this, I am rooting for the Ducks. Okay, so I am an Oregon fan. Just want to get that out of the way so that you guys understand where I'm coming from. Okay, with that being said, when I first saw the rankings, my initial thought was, how is Oregon number 4? Okay, how are they the number 4 team in the country? And I'm going to explain why I say that. I don't find them to be the number 4 team in the country. And the reason I don't find them to be the number 4 team in the country is because they haven't been playing. Yes, they went into the horseshoe, beat Ohio State, had a great game then, but they haven't looked the same. If you're the 4th best team in the country, it shouldn't take a 4th down stand against a 1-win Cal team. Okay? If you're a team that's going to be competing for the national championship, that people are saying, hey, this is one of the 4 teams that should be able to win a national championship. You should not struggle to the point you have to make a goal line stand in the closing seconds to ensure that you beat a 1-win team. Oregon, since beating Ohio State, has not looked like the same team. I don't know that if both teams play today, or play tomorrow, that Oregon would win that game. Ohio State has been getting better, and that's why they're up there number 5, okay? So right now, right off the bat, I know some of you are going, well, aren't you an Oregon fan? Yes, I am, but I got to be honest. They haven't looked like the number 4 team in there. And here's something else to think about. The Pac-12 is not a strong conference. It would be something if the Pac-12 was a tough conference, and you're sitting there and you're struggling with a 1-win team, but that team happens to be one of the strongest conferences in the country, right? That's why the SEC schools, that's why the Big Ten schools get the benefit of the doubt sometimes, is because they've got more schools in the top 25. Now you could say it's East Coast bias against West Coast teams, but the Pac-12 hasn't necessarily helped itself. Okay, UCLA goes out, beats LSU to start the season. That would have been a great game if it had been Oregon versus UCLA, and UCLA was ranked in the top 25 as well. As it stands, Oregon is the only Pac-12 team playing that is in the top 25. And so when I say they got to look like the number 4 team, here's what I mean. They should be blowing everyone out. An example of this is Clemson. Take a look at Clemson in the past, Clemson in the ACC. The ACC wasn't as strong. People knew that. But what Clemson was doing was they were blowing everyone out. Back in 2019, the team that went to the national championship game, that finally lost to Joe Burrow and LSU Tigers, people still thought that was a really good team. They were one of the top 4 teams, and they were in a very weak ACC at the time, but they were blowing them out. They were winning by double-digit scores, and it wasn't just like 10 points. It was 20-plus points. They were controlling and dominating. If you're dominating and you're just destroying your conference because you can't help who's in your conference if they're not doing well, you shouldn't be penalized for it, but you should also know, hey, we just got to blow teams out. So one thing about Oregon, they are a young team. Maybe the team starts getting it together now as the later half of the season. They got 4 more games. If they start blowing teams out, then maybe you can say, hey, this is a top 4 team. But at this point in time, they've not been playing like a top 4 team since beating Ohio State. So that's my first thing. Second thing is obviously a lot of people upset about Alabama. Alabama being ranked number 2. Now, Alabama's ranked number 2 because it's Alabama. We all know that. I mean, Nick Saban's a machine. He's got that program rolling. It's based on perception, right? Alabama's always getting top recruits. Because they're getting top recruits, they got to be a good team. It ignores that, at some point you do have to rebuild, right? This isn't the same team from last year, just like the LSU team wasn't the same team last year from the year prior. Yes, they have a lot of talent, but they're still replacing some players. Some of those top receivers are no longer there. They still have good talent, Don't get me wrong. I kind of wonder if they're not ranked high because of that, because they're in the SEC and they've been there, and so everyone's just like, well, Nick Saban's going to get them there, right? Everybody's like, Nick Saban will get them there. They'll get to the SEC championship game and somehow they'll beat Georgia, right? I don't know. Georgia's a pretty good team this year, but I kind of think perception's everything, right? And the first game of the year, they played Miami and they boat raced them. They absolutely destroyed Miami. I mean, everybody remembers the picture of the Miami defender wearing the turnover chain and they're down like 32-0. Not a really good look for Miami, by the way, but whatever. Miami was ranked in the top 25. Everybody's like, well, this is going to be a good game there. Miami's kind of being rebuilt, and they get boat raced. And everybody's initial thought was, holy cow, they did it again. Nick Saban and his staff have done it again. They're going to dominate. They're going to win, and they're going to blow everyone out, and they belong again. So I kind of think this committee is basing a lot of that off of initial impression and just recruiting rankings as well, and looking at the program. Okay, so that's my thoughts on that. And then finally, the third thing, and I'm just going to be blunt. I know it's going to hurt Nasty Natty Gaming. He's a part of the NCAA community on Twitch. He's a big Cincy fan. I'm sorry, Cincinnati fans. You're not getting in the playoff. You're not. I don't think you. Okay, I shouldn't say you're not. Shouldn't say that. Barring mass chaos, I don't think they're going to let you in. The playoff committee has shown that they do not respect you. They don't respect G5s. They're not going to let G5s. The only quote-unquote G5, Group of 5 school that may have had a chance is BYU. If BYU was undefeated, I'm going to tell you right now, they would have been over Cincinnati. They would have been ranked over Cincinnati. The fact that BYU has 2 losses and is ranked 15th tells you how much respect that committee has. And the reason BYU would be ranked higher than Cincinnati probably is because BYU has played 7 Power 5 conference schools. Now, 5 of those are Pac-12 schools. Or 4 of those, are Pac-12 schools. So take that for what it's worth. But what they're looking at, or they're looking at, is, hey, they played Pac-12. They played Big 12. They played an ACC school. So BYU would have gotten BYU. If BYU had gone undefeated, they may have had a chance to make the playoff. Cincinnati, I know they have the great win. They went in to Notre Dame and beat them. This committee has proven that they're not going to let Cincinnati. Here's why I say that. You have Oklahoma at 8, and you have Wake Forest at 9. And Wake Forest is kind of getting the disrespect because it's Wake Forest. It's not a big-time program. However, notice that there are 2 other top 25 teams in the ACC. You have North Carolina State and Pitt. If Wake Forest goes undefeated in the ACC, that means they got to beat that ranked North Carolina State team. That means they got to beat that ranked Pitt team. And it's a Power 5 undefeated. Don't be surprised if they don't jump Wake Forest above Cincinnati. Same with Oklahoma. Oklahoma has 3 more games, and they're all against ranked teams. You got Baylor, you got Oklahoma State, and there's one more, and I'm trying to remember. I can't remember right now. Hold on. Let's take a look at Oklahoma football schedule. Okay, Iowa State, right? And Iowa State's not ranked. Excuse me, Iowa State's not ranked, but 3 tough games, 3 respected teams. If Oklahoma goes undefeated, guess what? Sorry, you're out. You're out. They're not going to let you in. They're going to just say, sorry, we're gonna move Oklahoma. Oklahoma's gonna jump you. That's just the way it's gonna go. Secondly, how do I put this? Cincinnati need to be 5th. I think Cincinnati to be in the top 5 or 4th. Okay. Cincinnati needs chaos, right? They need some teams to lose. They need like Michigan State to lose to Purdue this week. Then they need Michigan or something to beat Ohio State. What they really need is they need a Big Ten West team to win the conference championship of the Big Ten. Okay, they need that. That's what they really need, because then you got a head-to-head. You're like, we're undefeated. We're conference champs. Big Ten doesn't. The Big Ten best Big Ten team that we all believe is not it. That's a way. But Cincinnati needs chaos, guys. This committee has shown that they have zero respect for the G5 under Gary Barta. There's only 4 non-Power 5 conference teams. They've put Mississippi State at 5-3 in the top 25. They've put some teams in there. Everyone's like scratching their heads, like, what? This is a top 25 team? So that just tells you everything you need to know right there. That, sorry, I hate to say it to you, Cincinnati. Now, I could be wrong. Could be wrong. I'll admit it. Cincinnati could get in, but like I said, they're going to need some help from. They're just going to need some help from everyone around them, and I don't know if they're going to get that help, guys. But that's the problem that I'm seeing right there. I just don't know if they're going to get any help. I don't know if they're going to get the help that they need. And even if they do get the help, I don't know about this committee. I don't trust it. Okay? Not a big fan of this committee. I think this committee has not done a good job. I'm looking at teams. How are they playing now to be ranking? Okay, I probably would have gone Georgia 1, Michigan State 2, probably Ohio State 3. Alabama may have been 4th or 5th. Maybe I probably put Cincinnati at 5. Oregon's between Oklahoma and Wake. Got to give them credit for the Ohio State win, but just haven't looked like it. And I know Cincinnati has to go out, and they just have to blow everyone out for them as well. Because I just wanted to give you my thoughts about those college football playoff rankings. Things are obviously going to change. This is the Friday before. So everything I'm saying could change right now. Change tomorrow. We could see a bunch of upsets. But if you are Cincinnati, you're rooting for Georgia, and you're rooting for basically Ohio State. Or Michigan State. Actually, root for Michigan State. Michigan State could take Ohio State out as well. So you got to get Bama out. You got to get Ohio State potentially out. You got to have Oklahoma State. But here's the thing. Oklahoma State can still jump up because Oklahoma State's 11th. Baylor's 12th. Baylor beats Oklahoma. They may put Baylor over Cincinnati because Baylor beat BYU. They have beaten Oklahoma. All of a sudden, again, Cincinnati, I hate to say it, Cincy fans, they're finding a way that they're going to bone the G5. They told the G5 schools, you got to do this. So the G5 schools, okay, we did it. They said, yeah, we were just kidding. We never thought you guys would really do that. We're not going to put you in. They've got to expand the playoff. This committee needs to go away. You can't have ADs be in the committee. There's bias, guys. There's natural bias. The ADs are going to be naturally biased to certain things. Can't have the ADs be the people that are picking to put in. And I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it. I don't know if you take the rankings from the AP, the coaches poll, you take you take the CFP committee, you take the old BCS computers, and you get it all together. Joel Klatt, he does a really good job explaining what's happening right now is you're not getting enough data. So you're not getting the real average. You're not getting the mean. You're not getting the median. You're not getting anything. You're just getting, hey, here you go. All right? And so you're getting the edges of it, right? Someone's ranking it one way and then someone else is ranking it the other way. There's not enough data points. They need more data points to actually get this to work right. Add more teams. Give teams a chance, guys. But, yeah, I hate to say it. But right off the bat, Oregon, recap, not the number 4 team in the country. This is coming from an Oregon fan. Oregon has to prove it to me. They have to go out. I want them to go out and blow the socks off of everyone else. If they go out the next 4 games and blow everyone out, including in the Pac-12 championship game, then I'd say they belong in the national championship conversation. As of right now, I'm not seeing it, guys, and I hate to say that as a Ducks fan. Second thing, get used to it, guys. As long as Alabama's got Nick Saban, it's got the brand, and it's got the talent coming in, they're going to find a way to screw teams over. They're going to find ways to fix it so that a team like Alabama's schedule looks better than what it is. And remember, first-year perceptions matter, okay? And then finally, I think they're going to find a way to screw the Cincinnati Bearcats out. Torpedo, how you doing? We're talking a little bit of the college football playoff. But yeah, so guys, I just think they're going to screw the Bearcats out of the playoff ranking. I hate to say that, but it's in my bones. That's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling the way that's what they're going to do. And I'm going to tell you right now, guys, having coached at a school like Snow, we were told, oh, you're not good enough. You're not a good enough team. You're really the fourth best team. Even though we basically dominated except for one half in a buggy Georgia fall. We had to fly out, play number 3 team, and blitzkrieg them. I hate people that sit in an office that are suits that say, yeah, this team's the best. Well, which conference are you from? Why does that matter? It does. The bias of the 13 people on the CFP committee are bad. So that's that, guys. We're gonna go ahead and stop right there. Those are my thoughts on the playoff. I'm gonna go over it again for some of my Twitch viewers who are in, but yeah, guys, it's an unfortunate situation. Here's to chaos this weekend. Root for chaos. We need chaos. Chaos will make this so much more fun. All right, if you like this, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. This is going up on YouTube.